are really good at keeping up with the latest news, because I got a request from Janet that you had sent a request about the study, and I had just seen it last night, was talking to my students about it last night. But yes, it's yet another study saying vitamin D pills don't cure X. We've heard this a lot. And first, I'd like to point out almost all of them are coming out of actually one study. So they're coming out of a trial called the VITAL trial. And this trial was designed with maybe not the best design, but it's very practical and it was easy to do in large numbers. And they were able to get large numbers of people. But what does that mean for the outcomes? So what did they do? They gave a standard dose to every single person. And those of you who have heard me talk about vitamin D know that you can't give a standard dose, right? You have to get yourself to a certain blood level, which is why you have to work with your healthcare provider to check your lab, see where your vitamin D is, and then change your dose until you're at the right level. So that's my first major issue with this research study, is they just gave everybody the same amount. Now, it was a decent amount. It was 2,000 international units a day, but still, some people might have ended up being deficient and didn't get an increased dose. And maybe some people actually had too much. Who knows, right? We don't really know. My other complaint is that this study was done in generally healthy people. So if we're looking at this particular study was looking at fractures, so increased risk of fractures. So if we're looking at people who are generally healthy, what is the risk of fractures in those people at all? It's not very high. So we're talking about very small numbers of people actually having fractures. And so to look at that overall, is it chance? It's a little bit difficult to really understand that. And I would argue that this is not the best way to study that. The other important point, and many of you may know this as we get older and we're women and we talk about bone health. When we talk about vitamin D, that's not the only thing you're supposed to be doing, right? You're supposed to take vitamin D and calcium. Then there's osteoporosis medications, also physical activity, strength training, all of that's important for your bones. And if these people weren't doing any of the other things, right, they didn't take a calcium supplement, they weren't seeing their doctor about, actually, they were not allowed to take osteoporosis medications, then we could see where there might be some real concern. And it's not the lack of vitamin D that was the issue. It's the fact they didn't do all the other things. So that's another issue I have with the study. The other thing is it's just one study. And in research, we can't look at just one study and say that's the answer. We have to look at all the studies. And there are other studies that have shown some benefits. But what have they shown benefits from? That's the question. They've shown benefits from people who have high vitamin D levels. So your blood concentration is high. They haven't shown benefits actually from supplements. Now, how do you get a high vitamin D level? Well, you could take a supplement or you could spend time outside. And we all know the benefits of spending time outside. They're more than just vitamin D. So yes, you're going to get your vitamin D, but you're going to lower your stress levels. You may be being physically active, which is also really important for bone health. So perhaps some of the benefits that we're seeing are actually from those other things, not from the vitamin D. Also, maybe getting the vitamin D from the sun is actually important, as opposed to getting it from a supplement. We don't know that for sure. But so I just want to point out that there's some serious flaws to this research, even though I think it's, people tried to do a good job. It's not like we just did bad research. It's the best research we could do in such a large group of people. But when you read the headlines, right, the headlines are very much like vitamin D does nothing. Don't take vitamin D. Or even if you dig into that New York Times article, some of the experts said that they no longer think people should be screened for vitamin D deficiency, which I think is insane. Because if you look at the literature outside of bone health, it very much argues completely the opposite. So again, looking at just one study versus looking at all of the literature and all the research, you get a different outcome. But even in that New York Times article, many of the experts still said they will recommend to their patients to take calcium and vitamin D. So it hasn't changed the mind of experts. Does it mean it should change what you're doing? Probably not. But you should talk with your healthcare provider, and definitely talk to your healthcare provider about what your actual vitamin D status is, your blood concentration, as opposed to just, oh, I take 2,000 international units a day. Is that enough? They really can't answer that from just looking at you and talking to you, right? They need to actually test it and get the answer. So I would personally recommend at least an annual vitamin D screening, despite the fact that some of these bone experts would now say it's unnecessary. So that's my little 2 cents. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And here comes my cat, Penny. Did they even recognize or take into account that vitamin D is actually a hormone? So in terms of bone health, they don't really think about vitamin D as being a hormone. It's really more about its function on calcium absorption, for one, in the gut, and then parathyroid hormone. So it affects parathyroid hormone, which affects your bone, whether the bone is actually building or whether it's putting calcium out into your blood. And they didn't find a difference in that. But yet many studies have shown that increasing vitamin D lowers parathyroid hormone. But that was actually part of their argument was, well, maybe it doesn't lower parathyroid hormone. Okay, so this one study says maybe it doesn't, but all the 20 other ones say it does. I don't think that means we should change what we're doing. And then CJ is asking, what is the ideal vitamin D level? So that's a great question. If we're talking about bone health, you really don't need a lot. And they did report that in a study, and I would agree with them. You don't need a lot. Even 20 nanograms per milliliter as your blood level is enough for bone health. So you don't get osteoporosis. Now, you probably want more than that, or you want to just avoid disease. You want to be healthy. So a lot of the literature will show 30 to 32 nanograms per milliliter is what you need to avoid softening of the bone, which is not really a disease, but it could lower or increase your risk for osteoporosis in the long run. But as we talked about previously, there's more to vitamin D than bone health. It can help with your immune function, other things. And when we look at those outcomes, what we're really seeing is 40 to 60 nanograms per milliliter is optimal. And some of the literature for COVID is actually suggesting 50 to 60 nanograms per milliliter will help prevent COVID. So that 20 seems awfully low when we look at everything else. So what you would get if you went to see Dr. Kogan is he would try and get you somewhere in that 40 to 60. We're pretty confident about that range being healthy. So that's what I would recommend at this point, given that I don't think a lot has actually changed from just this one study. And who financed that study? Good question. It was financed by the NIH. So it is really kind of the gold standard. They had like 50,000 people in the study, which when you think about running a research study with 50,000 people, that's pretty amazing. So what they did was great. It was an amazing study. It's just you can't do the best study when you're doing it in 50,000 people. It's not possible. But that's why they aren't able to show the same results that you would see in a smaller study when they're looking at a lot more different things and it's more heavily controlled. But great question, thinking about who financed it.
And last but not least, we did a great podcast episode on vitamin D, and I'll include that in the email that we send out after.
Yes, we have that one. And I also recently did one with Capital Integrative Health where I really walked through the basics of vitamin D, including more information on what the right level is and different kinds to take. So we'll make sure we include that as well. All right. I will turn it over to Robyn Ringgold. Thank you, Robyn.
We're gonna turn it over to Ashley.
Oh,
so
COVID
she can answer
Q&A.
any COVID questions. Oops. Sorry, Robyn.
That's okay. All right. So in terms of COVID, not a lot new other than, positivity rate, of course, is going up. I think last time we talked in Maryland, at least it was at 6.1%, and now it's at about 6.48%, I believe, today. So it's steadily sort of increasing, and I'm sure you've heard from your friends and family members that more people are getting it. So that kind of gives you a clue too that things are sort of revving up. So it's a good time to kind of protect yourself in terms of wearing masks when you go to really crowded places or when you're on a plane. And also, making sure that you're fully vaccinated as well to prevent hospitalization. Hospital rates, have gone up a bit, but not into to the point where we saw, pre-Omicron levels. New boosters in September. Yeah, so I mean, that is what I've heard as well, is that September is the time frame, and that's the reason why they're holding off on saying that people under 50 should get the second booster. It doesn't look like they're going to approve that right now, and they're saying it's because they're expecting an Omicron specific booster in September to include obviously the BA4 and 5 variants. On estimated unreported cases, you know, I don't know. I didn't see any estimates on unreported cases. I know that sometimes they use sewage as data because a lot of people are testing at home and they're not reporting it anywhere. And so that's where a lot of the data is coming from. It's from sewage testing. Is it okay to wait? So that's really going to be an individual sort of question because, you know, there's some people who have a lot of comorbidities and are at a high risk and they may not want to wait or because of their age, they don't want to wait. So you kind of have to sort of weigh what's the best for you. If you were, you know, somebody who's not even in you know, that realm to get the 4th shot, then you wouldn't even be thinking about it. So if you're already over the age of 50, I'd say that it's best to probably get it now. You can always get the other one later in September. Going to a large gathering like an outdoor wedding. Yeah. So, you know, if you were to ask the CDC, they'd probably say that you can just do most whatever, you know, most of these guidelines have sort of gone away at this point. And so going to a wedding, of course, even if it's outdoors, if there's a lot of people around, it is going to be a higher risk. If you're somebody who's in a higher risk category, that may not be the right event for you, or sorry, indoors.
Yeah, it looks like an indoor event.
Yeah, that may not be the right, you know, indoor or outdoor. I'm not sure it really matters with this variant. It tends to not really discriminate. So if you're in a large group of people, if you were going to go and really wanted to, I guess you could take precautions and wear a really good fitted, you know, at least like KN95 mask if you don't have a regular N95 mask. How long should we wait to test following exposure to somebody who tests positive? So most of the guidance around this is about waiting, you know, testing yourself at about 2 days after you expose and then 5 days after exposure. Most of the time you're going to see a positive come up within 48 hours, but some people still, it takes about 5 days. Oh, yes, Paxlovid is out. Yep, and it's available at most pharmacies. So if you know, talk to your provider and see if you're a good candidate for that if you test positive. You have to take it within 5 days.
So on that note, I think we're going to wrap up so we can move on to Robyn.
Sure, I'm excited.
Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I think there was one more question. Do you want me to start?
No. Don't worry about the COVID questions. You may want to bring the computer a little closer to you so the mic is a little closer. Okay, you stopped, or have I stopped?
Okay, I actually have a microphone. Okay.
Oh, okay. You might want to bring it closer.
I'm sorry. Is it okay now?
Oh, yes, it's good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if that was me that was blinking in and out a bit. So welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And so I do sound healing in addition to other modalities. And today I'm going to take you on a sound healing journey. And sound healing is the conscious use of vibrations of sound through various instruments. They could be crystal bowls. I have here Himalayan bowls of different sizes, and these are actually made of different metals. And these, the variety of the instruments together cause you to go into a very relaxed or delta state, if you will, allow you to kind of bypass your conscious thoughts, your beliefs, your mental constant that goes on, to allow you to receive a deeper healing and relaxation through the sound. Okay, so during sound healing, the frequencies of the various instruments that we use, and also the voice and toning, they penetrate the body at a cellular level. And with that penetration at that deeper level, it allows for a deep healing process to take place. It allows for traumas, blockages in the body to be released. And so typically you'll feel a bit lighter after having a sound healing session. Your body will literally feel lighter. And I just also want to say that during the sound journey, you may begin to feel emotional. And if that happens, it's simply the emotions coming up to be released. Okay, so my screen is frozen. I apologize. I'm going to switch to another Wi-Fi if you'll just give me 1 second. Thank you. Okay, I'm just in the process of switching to a different Wi-Fi so that it's not cutting out. I apologize.
No worries.
Okay.
So for those of you who got here after the tour or the show and tell, I am now working in Georgetown, South Carolina. This is the South Carolina Low Country. I am between Myrtle Beach and Charleston, if you know where those places are. It is a sleepy city, but and you know what is it? The streets roll, the sidewalks roll up at around 5 or 6 o'clock. But we were recently named South Carolina's hidden jewel by Southern Living magazine. So we're fancy now, y'all. But let me just switch the computer around so you can see how lovely it is. Nice. It was built in 1899. And I am enjoying being here. We're doing a lot of stuff around the house. Have to get the windows restored. And once the windows are restored, we're going to paint everything because it's looking a little weary. But you know, those of you who have historic homes, you know the struggle. So hopefully at some point, Robyn will be able to.
Yes, I'm here. Are you all able to hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. And there you
Okay, I
are,
apologize.
wonderful.
Okay, this should work better. I used a different Wi-Fi, so thank you for your patience. So as I was saying that the sound healing actually penetrates at a cellular level. And so some of the benefits of sound healing are a relaxation of your muscles that have been carrying tension. It removes blockages and adjusts the energy flow in your body. Emotional pain, stress, depression, anxiety, enhances a deep sense of calm and tranquility, improves sleep, clarity, memory, detoxifies and energizes at a cellular level, and then energizes and balances your chakras, your glands, your organs, and the mind. You're able to cultivate a deeper insight, expressiveness, playfulness, and creativity. And so you probably all have heard before that we store our traumas, our emotions that have been unprocessed in the body. And so the sound healing really penetrates at that deep level to allow for the release of those blocked emotions and stored traumas. And so if you can imagine from the time that you're born until I think about age 6, you know, we experience many different things in childhood, also from our parents, from friends, from bullies, from all kinds of programming, belief systems, and any of those traumas that we experience between those ages, they get lodged in the body and they create the blockages that then can lead to disease. And so I always look at healing on every level. So we want to heal from the emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental layers and levels, not just approaching just one level or layer. And so the sound healing really penetrates at a very deep, deep level. Does anybody have any questions before we get started?
I'm just curious about where we would encounter sound healing. Are they on CDs? Is it a CD that you can get? Do you see a practitioner for this? Yeah, and I guess another thing is, for how long do you do it, or how often do you do it? How much do you practice before you might be feeling results?
Okay, so beautiful. Thank you for that question. So first off, there are YouTube videos, there are professional sound healers, and there's many, many of them now. So if you were to Google sound healer in your area, I'm positive that you'd be able to find a sound bath. And so most people call them sound baths. And so you actually go in person. Some people do them online. Usually they're held at like yoga studios or some type of holistic places. There's also something called binaural beats. And on YouTube, there's a channel called New Meditation Music. It's NU. And they have incredible binaural beats. And those are at specific frequencies or hertz. And they allow you to, say if you're having trouble sleeping, you can put on the one that is for sleeping, and it goes for like 11 hours and it has a black screen. You can put that on and it really, really helps with sleep. And you could do that every night. You could do it whenever you need to. Sometimes if I have a lot of work to do, I can put on binaural beats for concentration. And that way, it really helps me to just focus. So there's binaural beats for all kinds of different things, and they operate at different frequencies or hertz. So I would recommend, I feel like sound can be a part of our daily lives, and each one of us has the ability to do toning. And you can actually use the alphabet or the vowels, to tone. Literally using A, and you can do that and you will feel a difference in your body. And there are some YouTube videos just that go through the vowels, those seed sounds, that allow you also to use your own voice to heal and to really open up to a deeper heart connection with your own self.
Wonderful.
Yes, and sound baths, a lot of the meditation apps, yes. So there are tons and tons of people doing sound healing now. In fact, you can even, on YouTube, there's sound baths. You can even look up sound baths. So some people use crystal bowls. Some people use what they call alchemy bowls that might be made of like gold or other crystal. And like I said, I have Himalayan bowls, and there's all different sizes, as you can see. I have some really large ones, and then I have some small ones, and they all produce a different frequency, which helps when they're played together to help to really get into the areas in the body where there's density. Yes, I have Tibetan bowls, Himalayan bowls as well. And then also people use gongs and all kinds of different instruments. Today, basically a few bells, and I'll be using the Tibetan or Himalayan bowls. Now, I will be also guiding you just with my voice into like a sound healing journey. So I'll be using the bowls and also just guiding you with my voice. And I may do a bit of toning as well. And so as we do that, you'll feel things kind of coming up. And like I said before, as these emotions come up, if you feel like you need to cry, or even yell, or you feel some sadness, it's simply what's coming up to be released. All of us have been through so much over the last few years where we've held a lot of fear, anxiety, worry in the body. And so a lot of that will start to come up and be lifted from you. Okay, does anybody have any other questions? Okay, so if you're ready, really make yourselves comfortable. And if you're holding anything, you want to just put anything down that you might have in your hands. And really just allow yourselves to receive today. And we're going to start by just taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So just deep in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to begin our sound journey today by connecting in with our hearts and what we refer to as the high heart. It's just in the center of your chest, just under the collarbone. And just set the intention now to connect with your high heart. In the center of the chest, taking deep breaths. Allowing you to just let go of all of your worries, your thoughts, your to-do list. And as you gently close your eyes, to imagine now that you're standing on the beach, looking out at the ocean. Just begin to feel the breeze from the waters, from the tide coming in and out. And just stand with your feet in the waters, getting used to the temperature. Feeling the feel of the waters and looking out at the expansiveness of the ocean. Allowing yourself to feel relaxed, free from all of your worries. And when you're ready, go ahead and walk into the waters. They are warm and inviting, and the sun is shining. And as you walk into these waters, just set the intention to release anything that no longer serves you, any blockages, emotions, fears, or traumas. And when you're waist deep into the waters, gently lie on your back, allowing the waters to hold you, to support you in this journey today. And you're being held by the waters gently, feeling the caress of the waves. Just feel your body completely relax into the waters, where there's not one worry, not one thought, not one concern, as the waters today are going to assist you in a deep, cleansing, healing, and release. And as you're lying on your back, feel the warmth of the sun and feel your heart beginning to open. Allow for any emotions that have been trapped inside to begin to come to the surface, to be cleansed by the gentle waters. Holding on to that you no longer need to carry. Just gently feeling your heart open, expanding, releasing. And as the heart opens, all of the tears, the fears, the grief, the anxiety that we've all experienced in the last few years, allow it to be healed, cleared, and released from your body. Gentle release, allowing for any blockages. To just gently come to the surface for clearing. Receive these frequencies, letting them know that they are safe now to release, to heal, to cleanse, to let go of all that no longer serves. Allowing the waters to gently wash over you, cleansing. We also allow the waters to cleanse any energies that we've picked up from our environment, from people, places, any energies that are not our own, that do not serve. We allow the waters to wash over. Deeper now, to deeper levels and layers, highest love and compassion for ourselves and all that we've experienced and witnessed in our world. Allowing the frequencies to penetrate in the deepest places. Feeling your heart expanding gently, easily. Just feeling the waters wash over you. Cleansing, cleansing, healing, healing. Just a gentle, beautiful release. Feeling your body completely relaxed. Your legs, your feet, your arms, the tension in your shoulders, allowing all of the tension to dissolve from the body. Allowing the entire body to be at complete and total relaxation. And the waves are gentle, soothing. Just feel yourself floating, being held by the great expanse of the ocean. And begin now to feel the sun shining on your skin gently. And you're protected. So as the sun shines with your body in the waters, begin to feel as though the sun is illuminating every cell within your body, every cell, healing, raising the vibration of every cell in your body, allowing the cells to heal, to clear, begin to feel a beautiful tingling sensation throughout the body as the sun shines deep into every cell, as the light from the sun penetrates the deepest your center, allowing for an even deeper cleanse and healing as the water receives the reflection of the sun. And feel your body being energized. Feel yourself as vibrant, full of vitality. Feeling as though you have been renewed, refreshed, re-energized. And this renewal allows you to have the courage, the enthusiasm, and the energy to keep your vibration high, to nourish your spirit, and to have faith in the beautiful world, beautiful people, healing, health, and wellness for all. And give thanks for your body, for all that it's been through, for what it's allowed you to experience, to witness, to be. And you can speak words of love to the body. I love you, body. I honor you, body. I thank you, body. I see you as whole, healed, relaxed, rejuvenated, and capable. And begin now to move your body in the waters however you see fit. Perhaps you want to take a swim. Perhaps you want to go under the waters. And take a moment. Notice the color. If you see any marine life, dolphins, fish. But just feel the peace and the tranquility of the ocean. And as you begin to make your way back to the the shore. Take your time. Giving deep love and gratitude to the waters. To the sun. Find yourselves now standing at the shore once again, looking out at the expanse of the ocean, knowing that we are also unlimited. We are expansive. And as you take a few deep breaths, coming back into this now moment, allow yourself to really feel the changes in your body. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing yourself to fully come back to this now moment. Feeling into the body, gently moving, rotating your wrists, your neck and shoulders. And we are here now, back together again.
That was beautiful. I'm so relaxed. I was relaxed before, but now I'm just in a really beautiful zen place.
Beautiful.
How about anybody else want to unmute yourself and tell us how you're feeling?
It was wonderful for me. I mean, initially I started crying. It was amazing. And then things kind of evened out. And then as we went deeper, I started crying again. I literally felt my spine vibrating. It was just amazing. I couldn't believe it was happening. I just felt my body vibrating.
Yes. And I want to answer the first question from Jennifer. Some people don't enjoy the water and they feel like they can't float. So yes, you could go to the mountain and sit on top of the mountain. You can go into the forest. You can go into a garden. So it's really like the visualization along with the sound that helps to kind of transport you into that space or place.
I had incredible insights about myself. I just for one is I realized that I carry responsibility for people and things that are not my responsibility and that I can't change.
Yes.
Just one and more.
That's awesome. That's a great revelation.
Wow. Thank you.
Absolutely. You're so welcome.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Take my glasses off. Oh, thank you so much, Alyssa, and everyone else who commented. Never felt freer. Beautiful. Yeah, I combine, normally I do a lot more toning, and I also use a few other modalities, but I thought I should keep it simple today. So that really was just the bowls and just a very little bit of toning. But there's so many other gifts from our soul that we are starting to tap into, and there's so much healing, possible. And I think that, if I could just share something with you, it would be to really start to trust yourselves, to trust your bodies, to trust, like that we really are incredible, amazing beings,
Robyn, are you located in the DC area?
I'm from Baltimore originally. I'm actually in Mount Shasta, California right now, so I'm traveling.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I do sessions online through Zoom. And so I do sound, I do intuitive readings, shamanic journeys, a lot of energetic work. And I find, honestly, that most of us have a lot of childhood traumas. I'm sorry, the train's going by. But most of us, I would say, have a lot of childhood traumas, which we wouldn't think would be still affecting us into our adult lives. But honestly, from my experience, most of us have so many traumas from childhood that we're still carrying that really are existing in the body. So it's pretty amazing.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I will include a link to your website. So if anyone is interested in more with Robyn, you can go to her website. But Robyn, you are definitely on the please come back and visit with us.
I would love to.
List.
Thank you so much. I would love to. And I love what you all are doing. And I'm so happy that I was able to share with you today. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ashley, is there anything you want to tell folks about?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Should I be telling folks about something? No.
How about telling them, if you have long COVID or know somebody with long COVID?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, so GWCIM has a long COVID clinic, of course, and we're happy to have you. So if you have long COVID or know somebody who has long COVID, feel free to reach out to us and we can get you some help.
All right. On that note, everyone, I would say enjoy the weather, but it's hot, it's humid. If you are going outside, stay hydrated. If you're inside and you feel thirsty, guess what? You're already dehydrated. So just have that bottle with you. Recyclable, preferably. Bye, everyone.
Oh, wait, we didn't get the link to her website.
Yes, I'll have that in the email that I'm sending out after the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or Robyn, could you quick put it in the chat?
Yes, I just placed it in the chat just now.
Okay, perfect.
And I'll be opening up more.